Hey everyone, and welcome to another vlog. I purchased a whole bunch of colorful t-shirts from Michael's because I've been lacking in the color department. I've been really wanting just like oversized t-shirts in a rainbow of different colors, and I finally have them now. So this I think is probably my favorite one. It's this bright neon pink. I bought some more papaya today and I'm about to cut that up. This is actually really easy. I just scoop out the seeds that are inside and then I use a vegetable peeler to peel the outside of the papaya. Then I just use a chef's knife to cut it into little pieces. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm also going to have some all brand buds for dessert. I am going to be on my period this week, and I find that closer to my period, I like to have a bit more fiber just to aid with digestion, because I definitely notice a difference during that time. So more fiber means more fruits and vegetables, of course, but I also do love all brand buds. There's something about the flavor that I find really delicious. There's a light sweetness to it, and it helps get things moving. I have them soaking in some plant-based milk. I like them a bit softened, but not too soft. So kind of like al dente, I guess. Lulu is watching me because she loves papaya. I just give her a tiny piece, no seeds of course. Hubby is working the evening shift this week. Thank goodness today is the last day. It's always a little bit tough when he works evening shifts. It's better now that I'm not working the project management job anymore. I have a bit more flexibility in terms of my working hours at the writing studio. I do a bit of work in the morning. I go for my walk, and then when I get back, we usually have lunch together. We watch some TV. Right now, that means catching up on YouTube videos that talk about the Leafs because we're in the playoffs right now. And then we have a nap. And by the time we wake up from our nap, it's time for hubby to go to work, and then I just get on with the rest of my evening. So I've had a lot of late nights. He gets home just before midnight, and I do wait up for him. I used to go to bed before he got home, but when he gets home, Lulu always gets so excited. So she makes a lot of squeaking noises, and that often wakes me up. Not every single time, but it's happened enough that I've thought, you know what, I'm just gonna wait for him to come home because then I can have an entire night of uninterrupted sleep. When I wake up in the middle of the night, sometimes I can get back to sleep, but sometimes I can't. So it's just a little bit risky because that will actually throw off my sleep even more. And sleep, as you probably know, is super important to me. So now I just stay awake. And pretty much as soon as he gets home, I will go to bed. We'll just chat for a tiny bit and catch up a little, and then I'm like right off to bed. So that means I've been sleeping a little bit later, but I've also been waking up at around the same time. Not on purpose. I wouldn't mind sleeping in a little bit actually, but my body is just used to waking up at a certain time. So I think the latest I've been waking up is around 6:30, but these couple of mornings I've been up at 5:30. And I just lie in bed, play some games on my phone, and then I get up. I'm really happy today is his last evening shift, and then he'll be off for 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, and then back to like a regular daytime schedule for the rest of the week. So that'll be nice to get back to my routine. And I do find that it's pretty easy to get back to routine. Sometimes the change in sleep habits affect me a bit more, but I think because I've just been staying up a little bit later and taking a longer nap during the day, it's not as bad this time around. These t-shirts I've been loving. They are on sale for buy one, get one 50% off. I ended up getting 12 t-shirts. Hubby got 4 as well. He actually bought large and I bought extra large. So now we can distinguish them in the wash, and I will insert a photo of the rainbow of colors sitting in my closet once I put this one back so you can see the full set. The reason I decided to buy so many t-shirts is because I've been wearing the ones from Shein a ton. I have 4 colors there, but they're fairly muted. I have a black, a gray, the teal and the blue have like a lot of gray tone in them, so they're like very, very muted, almost like a neutral. If you watch my goals video, you'll know that I have been wanting to wear more color this year. And when I reach into my closet, there isn't that much color. So I thought, you know what, maybe it's time to add a few inexpensive pieces to my closet. I had gone to Marshall's to see if I could find some Converse or something like that, because mine were pretty much destroyed. But I got sidetracked by some of the colorful cover-ups that they had, sort of like kimono style. After trying on a whole bunch, I think I tried on 7 or 8 of them, I decided to buy one of them because I really liked it in the store. But when I got it home and I tried it on, realistically, I thought, I'm never going to wear this. It was just a little bit too delicate and fancy, I guess, for my style these days. I basically wear t-shirts and leggings every single day. So I decided to return that and buy a few more t-shirts instead. So that's exactly what I did, and I'm really, really happy. I feel like these t-shirts have added so much life into my wardrobe. The hockey game starts at 7:30.
7:30, that's overtime.
Oh, Hubby and I are wearing our new Jays jerseys. We are heading, of course, to the Jays game. It's actually a Leaf playoff night, but I didn't know that when I booked the tickets because the schedule wasn't up yet. So we're hoping it's going to be a quick game so we can go home and watch whatever's remaining in the Leafs playoff game. Hubby and I are gonna do lettuce wraps again. This time hubby barbecued some steak, and I also made the potato dish again. There's lots more where that came from. I made the pickled daikon, but not early enough, so we're not gonna have that today. That's just sitting in the fridge. I cut up some more cucumber, green onions, got some more of that preserved cucumber, some more kimchi, and I pulled out the rest of our feta cheese. No rice today because we're not that hungry and there's a lot of steak, but I learned from the lettuce, and this is some live lettuce, like Boston lettuce type lettuce. It separates a bit more and it's not like really difficult to get off the head of lettuce. I'm sitting down for my first meal. It's going to be sourdough with peanut butter and peach jam. The peach jam from Farm Boy is quite good. I'm enjoying that. That's what it looks like. I've also got some all-round buds sitting on the side there. This morning I woke up thinking about doing a video on my PMS symptoms and like what I do about them. So I think that was a good sign because I haven't woken up thinking about filming a video in a long time. So it's nice to have that excitement back about my YouTube channel. I'm noticing today, even though I do have some moodiness due to hormones, quite a bit of just like general irritation and impatience, but I did a couple of writing sessions today. So I went to morning coffee sessions in the morning, which is with the writing studio that I work for. And I also went to the London Writing Salon session. Do you have to go potty? Go potty? You go potty? Yeah? Okay, let's go potty. Lulu had to go potty, so I'm just gonna keep an eye on her. But going back to those writing sessions was it felt so good. I felt a little bit of resistance because I hadn't been in so long, and I was like, oh, I could just work on my own. I've been doing that for the past few months anyway. But it was awesome going back to the sessions. I feel so much like myself again, and I got so much done. I'm just feeling a lot of creative energy, which is really nice. And doing the writing sessions, going for my walk this morning and running a few errands, it put me in a very good mood. Part of my errands this morning was heading to the library because I did have this book come up on hold. My friend recommended this to me. It's a trilogy, and the first one is called A Deadly Education. Lulu's back from going potty. Feels so good to be finally returning to my usual self. I guess it's taken about a month for me to get back into my regular writing practices with the Zoom sessions,
and it feels really, really good.
It has been a few days. My head has been wrapped up in sports. And on that note, I did want to talk about the renovations at the Rogers Center when hubby and I went to the Jays game. We got there 2 hours early because we wanted to check out the new areas, but it was also a bobblehead day. Let me grab the bobblehead that we got. So here is the bobblehead that was on offer. They've shifted when they do their giveaways, and most of them are on weekdays now, but hubby has occasional weekend shifts. So it just so happened that he was off Monday and Tuesday of the week that we went to the game. And since we were planning to go early, I was like, we might as well pick up the bobblehead. So I bought tickets for the Monday instead of the Tuesday. And then I regretted it because there was a Leafs playoff game that night and just a lot of sports stuff in my mind right now. But we got to the game 2 hours early. They don't open the doors until 90 minutes before, so we knew we were gonna have to wait in the drizzle for about half an hour. We get there and there are massive lines already, but they were actually really good and very organized. They opened the doors early. I think it was like 15 minutes early. We got our bobbleheads, we got to check out the new areas, but even though we were 2 hours early, we weren't early enough to get the bleacher seats that are in front of the visitors bullpen. Those are highly coveted, and I knew there was an off chance that we wouldn't be able to get it, but I was still surprised. But the new areas are a lot of fun. It's a real party atmosphere, and we got to see a lot of parts of the Rogers Center or the Sky Dome that we hadn't seen before. So we got to see like a lot of different angles that we hadn't been to. We got to go through this corridor that seemed like very behind the scenes. That was neat. I didn't take a clip of this, but we saw where the Sportsnet team does their broadcast, and we also got to try some of the new food. It wasn't the best, but it was decent, and it was less expensive than I thought it would be, and the portions were bigger than I thought they would be. We ended up getting the mac and cheese, which was a little bit bland. I think it could have used a bit more salt and maybe some like more tangy or pungent cheese, but it was still good and it was still filling. I don't think I would order that again, but the smoked meat sandwich was pretty decent. And again, the portion was bigger than I thought. So hubby and I were planning to order these couple of things and then maybe order a bit more later, but we were full. So we didn't order anything else. We also went to this convenience store setup, but you scan your credit card to go in. They do like a pre-authorized charge of $1, then it lets you in through turnstiles, and you can go and take whatever you want off the shelves to purchase, but there's no cashier or anything like that. You basically just walk out with the things that you select and they charge you after. So apparently this is tracked through cameras or something like that, sensors perhaps. It was pretty neat. I read about this and I knew I wanted to check it out. Went really smoothly. We just got a couple of beer, and the beers there were, they had like a bigger selection. They had some craft beer. I can't remember what hubby chose, but he really enjoyed his, and I got something from Blood Brothers, which is one of my favorite local breweries. It was well worth the trek, because by that time we were already at our seats when we decided to go get something, and we had to go all the way back down as we had seats up in like the highest level, and we went all the way back down to the lower level where this shop was, just to check it out. I really did like going on a weeknight, even though it was really busy when we came in because of the bobbleheads. It was less busy than it would have been on a weekend or a holiday. There is a ticket you can purchase where you don't have a seat in the stadium and you would just risk trying to get seats in the bleachers or like a standing room only area, or you could sit on like the couches and stuff in some of the other areas. So those are basically like general admission tickets, and you can stay in that area or just like wander around. We like to have a seat to return to in case it gets really chaotic and busy, and it wasn't that much more expensive. It was just a few dollars more. So I think we would do that again because I wouldn't want to be on my feet the entire game, and I do like watching the live action, whereas the couches and things like that, you're more watching screens. I really enjoy sports, as some of you may know if you've been following my channel for a while, and it was definitely a lot of fun to watch the game. The bonus is that we won. I am pulling up my vlog clips on the computer because I have been not great at doing talk-throughs, and I want to make sure I cover everything. Okay, I have 3 more things I want to include in this vlog. I have been going out a little more recently, and this usually does happen in the spring. Did start picking up in April this year, which is a little earlier than usual. Usually May is a lot in terms of going out, but I feel like it's been really consistent since I left my PM job. So I'm gonna start with the most exciting thing first. So this is not chronological, but I went to my friend's book launch event a couple days ago. Here is her book. It's so beautiful. It's even more stunning in person. So this is a double-sided book. This is my friend's side, and it's essentially a work of fiction. Her novel is this portion of the book, which is so beautiful. And the other side is her collaborator or co-author, and he did the illustrations. I was leafing through them during the launch event, and I did not vlog during the launch event because I wasn't sure if my friend would want to be in my vlog, but I am gonna show the book. This is my old school, these 2 images here, and I didn't realize that he had drawn pictures of Lord Lansdowne. So when I saw that, I was just, oh, so many happy memories. Grade 8 was probably one of my favorite years ever. It always stands out in my mind. This is a book that is set in the Chinatown, Kensington Market area of Toronto. And it deals with grief, loss, the changing of a city, gentrification of neighborhoods. It's very poignant and very powerful, very moving. My friend is an excellent writer. I find her writing is very unique and true to her as well. Congratulations to my friend, and I will put the link to this book down below. The launch event was hopping. There were so many people. My friend told me that there were over 150 people at the launch event, which apparently is a lot. I haven't been to many book launches. Maybe none at all. It was overwhelming how busy it was, but I loved seeing my friend. After I record this clip, I plan to curl up on the couch for a little while and leaf through the book before my afternoon nap. I'm really looking forward to it. But first, the rest of the clip. This same friend recommended a donut place, and it's called Isabella's Mochi Donuts. I decided to buy 6 donuts for family couch time because I can't just buy 1 or 2, clearly, strangely enough. So I bought half a dozen, and they were really good. I love mochi, but the texture of these donuts is not as dense and as chewy as mochi. We chose all different flavors, and I would say they were all good. I preferred the regular donut-shaped donuts to the one that was more like a cream puff. I liked the texture better, and I'm also not like a huge fan of cream. It's okay, I'll eat it and I enjoy it, but it's not something that I really choose when I'm picking out flavors. So that was a really nice recommendation for something different. In general, I probably still do prefer yeast donuts or cake donuts to the mochi donuts, but I would still definitely get the mochi donuts again. They were fantastic. The last set of clips I have to share are from a dim sum restaurant that I went to with my family. My sisters were in town, so we decided to have a family meal, but I couldn't make the dates that they were meeting for dinner. So instead we went for dim sum, which is a very rare thing for us. Usually we go to dinner as a group, but never really breakfast, lunch, or dim sum. Because hubby and I didn't have the car for the weekend, we decided to go to a place at Yorkdale, which is a mall that's accessible by public transit. And it was a fancy Chinese restaurant called Yu Seafood. We ordered a lot of dishes, and they were all very good. Each dish had a little bit of a twist to them, but they still tasted like traditional dim sums. I do like twists, but I don't really love it when something goes like too far from the traditional flavor, especially if it's a flavor I know and love, like Chinese food, because I grew up with Chinese food and I'm used to what it tastes like. So when things go a little bit too different, sometimes I don't enjoy it that much. A nice surprise was that the dumplings in particular were pretty big portions. They were larger than a lot of the regular dim sum restaurants that we go to, but they were also much more expensive. The one dish that I didn't like, and I was actually pretty annoyed by this, they had what they called sea urchin siu mai, which was basically a pork dumpling, but instead of the fish roe that they normally put on top, they put a piece of sea urchin. Now, I do like sea urchin. I can't eat too much of it because it's very rich, but if we go to a nice sushi restaurant where the sea urchin is fresh, I really do enjoy it. The sea urchin they used on the dim sum, I don't know if it was low quality or maybe it was a little bit old. It was quite pungent and it had like a lot of bitterness. It reminded me of the sea urchin I had in Japan at one of those conveyor belt sushi restaurants. I regretted ordering that. It almost put me off of sea urchin because it was just so bitter and metallic-y and like, ugh, it wasn't good. And unfortunately, the sea urchin on this siu mai was like that. And not only did they ruin perfectly good siu mai, they also charged so much for it. There wasn't a regular siu mai option at the time. They've since changed their menu, which is something I'm a little annoyed about as well. When my family and I went, it was 2 pieces of siu mai, sea urchin siu mai, for $13. 2 pieces, $13. I was like, huh? That really put me off, but I was like, oh, okay, I like sea urchin, so, you know, a piece per person or whatever. We ordered 4 orders, so that's like $52 just on siu mai, and it wasn't that good because of the sea urchin. The siu mai itself was fine, but the sea urchin was not. It was not good. I would go back to that restaurant again, but I wouldn't order the sea urchin siu mai next time. But when I was looking at the online menu a day or 2 ago, I noticed that they actually changed it. They've taken the sea urchin siu mai off the menu, and now it's just regular pork siu mai, and it's 4 pieces for, I think, something like $9.80. So that's much better. It's still more expensive than what we can get locally in Chinatown, but I mean, the service was really good and the restaurant was really nice and the pieces were pretty big, and overall I did enjoy it. But oh my goodness, I've been thinking about that siu mai a lot. I don't know if you can tell. We had a really nice meal though, and it was nice to see my parents because they are actually leaving today for Australia. So they're going to visit my sister there, even though my sister was just in town for a wedding. My parents are going there for an entire month, but that'll be super nice for them to have an extended getaway. They're going to Hong Kong, Australia, and potentially New Zealand if they have time. I think that is going to be it for this vlog. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm in really bright spirits today, maybe because the sun is out for the first time in a while and I've got my friend's book beside me. I'm wearing color. I'm feeling really good today. Not all days, but today in particular. All right, I'm gonna have some couch time now, but I hope you're all doing well and I will see you in the next vlog.